Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Oh, my volume's still good. Okay, we're doing well. I don't know what happened, but my volume just sorted itself out. J1, how you going? Kai, how you going? Alex, how you going? Good to see ya. Yeah, it feels like you've been away for a year. Deb, how you going? Deb R. Because I believe the other Deb's in here too. Who else have we got? Hang on, where are we? I've got to go back. The chat's already jumping on me. Out to lunch, how you going? Shannon, how you going? I said hello, Kai, didn't I? Deb J, how you going? Sorry, guys, hang on. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay, who else have we got in here? Zena, how you going? Timmy, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Paranormal Oz, how you going? And Zena's ready to throw a few zingers into the chat today. Way to go. Okay. Virginia, how you going? I did say Paranormal Oz, didn't I? Sorry. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, I've got some interesting stuff. Oh, look at me. I'm here. Up close and personal. Holy guacamole. Do I need to be that up close and personal? It'll do. Okay, let's get into the news. I've got it on screen. Yep, okay, it's all going good. Rob Smith said, you wouldn't believe this. The NDIS is being given to First Nations people because they're suffering trauma from colonisation. The NDIS is costing taxpayers $100 billion per year. That's $273 million per day. I have trauma. Can I get the NDIS? You know what? I can't even get the NDIS. They declined me. I'm disabled, but they declined me. Okay, I wasn't good enough apparently, but I don't care. All I wanted was some help mowing my lawn. I can't get that. I've got to do it myself. There you go. Dan Scavino Jr. just said FAFO. Fuck around, find out. And I believe that's aimed at Comey. Because Comey wrote, apparently he found some pebbles on the beach that said 8647. Now, 86, I found out yesterday from Benny Johnson, is 8 foot long, 6 foot deep. A casket, okay? Calling for someone to harm Trump. Okay, and then he backtracked very quickly. And he said, even though he was head of the FBI, he said he didn't know what 86 meant. He didn't know. 86 is apparently, I don't know, it might be the police call for kill, I don't know, murder, I don't know. Alexandra Marshall said Anthony Albanese has unveiled Labor's new cultural vision for Australia. What have we got now? Progressive patriotism. Oh. Which sounds eerily like something else. I don't know. Does that sound a bit like Nazi? I don't know. Literally using a trick out of Hitler's playbook. That's what I thought. National Socialism. That's what I thought. Progressive patriotism. National Socialism? Yeah, turn it round. Patriotism, nationalist, you know, sort of. And progressive socialist, because they are. Okay, let's get on with it. Rob Smith said, I just sent this to the Pope. Oh, he's written a letter to the Pope. This Rob Smith's on fire. He's written a letter to Donald Trump about Albanese, our Prime Minister here in Australia. Now he's written a letter to the Pope about Albanese. Subject, request for consideration of excommunication of Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Your Holiness, greetings in name of our Lord Jesus Christ and congratulations on your election as the successor. As you assume the mantle of leadership for the Universal Church, I write to you with a heavy heart and a deep sense of concern regarding a matter that touches upon the integrity of the Catholic faith in public life. I bring to your attention the actions of the Honourable Anthony Albanese, I wouldn't be calling him Honourable, Prime Minister of Australia and professed Catholic, who during his recent swearing-in ceremony for his second term on May the 3rd, 2025, chose to make a secular affirmation rather than swear an oath on the Holy Bible. This decision has sparked significant debate and distress among faithful Catholics in Australia and beyond, all Christians, particularly given Mr Albanese's public identification with the Catholic Church and his recent expressions of faith, including his attendance at Mass and his tributes to the late Pope Francis. I believe that public figures who profess our faith bear a profound responsibility to uphold its teachings and symbols, especially in moments of solemn duty such as swearing-in ceremony. The Bible, as the inspired word of God, is a sacred instrument of truth and commitment. Mr Albanese's decision to forego this tradition, while legally permissible, appears to be many as a public rejection of the spiritual weight of this Catholic identity. This act, coupled with his stated preference for a secular affirmation to represent people of every faith and no faith, raises questions about his commitment to the Church's teachings and his alignment with the principles he claims to uphold. Your Holiness, the Church has long taught that those who publicly contradict the faith or cause scandal amongst the faithful may warrant disciplinary measures, including excommunication, to protect the integrity of the body of Christ. Canon 1364 of the Code of Canon Law notes that those who persist in actions contrary to the faith may face such consequences. Mr Albanese's choice, particularly in light of his prominent role and his prior emphasis on his Catholic upbringing, risks undermining the Church's witness in Australia, a nation already grappling with secularism and declining religious observance. I humbly and respectfully request Your Holiness consider initiating an investigation into Mr Albanese's actions and, if deemed appropriate, proceed with a canonical process for this excommunications. Such a measure would serve as a powerful reminder to Catholics in public office that their faith is not a private matter to be set aside for political expediency, but a public witness to Christ and his church. I acknowledge that this is a grave request, and I trust your Holiness's wisdom and discernment, guided by the Holy Spirit, to weigh this matter carefully. I also recognise Mr Albanese's stated intentions to represent all Australians and his personal reflections on his faith. However, the public nature of his decision demands a response that upholds the sanctity of the Church's teachings and the expectations placed upon those who claim the Catholic name. Please be assured of my prayers for your pontificate and for the unity of the Church. I entrust this matter to your pastoral care and ask for your blessing upon all who seek to live faithfully in these challenging times. Yours in Christ, Rob Smith. Who's he going to email next? He's doing well. Like, I'm not making fun of him. Good on him. Okay, FBI Director Kash Patel, we are aware of the recent social media post by former FBI Director James Comey, directed at President Trump. We are in communication with the Secret Service and Director Curran. Primary jurisdiction is with SS on these matters, and we, the FBI, will provide all necessary support. I've also got the SS in here, commenting on it. Let's go back to Comrade Anthony Albanese. Rob Smith again. Anthony Albanese is en route to Rome to watch the Pope's inauguration. This is the same bloke that wouldn't swear on the Bible when being sworn in as PM. Just another holiday for the lazy, bludging bum. He always seems to have a glass of wine in his hands in recent photos, I've noticed. Drink a bit, do you, Albanese? Maybe a bit too much. Like, I know people that have one drink. Not many, but like I do know some. And then I know a lot of people who just keep drinking. And I think Mr Albanese is one of them. Especially the way he went down the stairs in the video I showed yesterday, I believe. Malcolm Roberts said One Nation calls for net negative immigration now and continue it until every Australian has a bed and a roof. Sounds good to me. Daniel Cinzio, I don't know how to say that, sorry, is working voluntarily to assist Queensland's homeless. He's set up with other volunteers, an amazing network of providers and volunteers. He sent the pictures and forwarded to me the text messages below from volunteers on Brisbane's north side. We spoke. He's feeling disappointed, deeply worried, angry, frustrated and exhausted with all levels of government, because they'll stop you helping our homeless people. He sees that councils are trapped in a vice with the federal government's inhuman record immigration levels, relentlessly squeezing people into homelessness. Here's the text he received and forwarded. Copy-paste from a crew doing similar work to me on the north side of Brisbane for the homeless. Tonight I joined the Nourish Street crew at Grilled to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. It was great to see so many supporters. The energy was unreal. While I was there, a frontline worker from Specialist Housing Service provider pulled me aside for a quiet chat. They're frustrated. They're seeing upwards of 40 people a day needing help, and every day the situation gets worse. Their service has strict rules, no speaking to media, ministers, or on social media. That silence is part of the problem. What they told me tonight paints a grim picture for the future. Staff are burning out, many are walking away. Even this worker had to take time off to avoid a breakdown. The new immediate housing response policy is making things even harder. If someone in a hotel says no to an offer of accommodation, could be $290 a week unregulated boarding house, they're cut off from support. For context, JobSeeker is $390 a week. That's 75% of their income just for rent. Mine's more like 66, 67% of my income. I'm lucky and I'm renting privately. But I always have. I don't take from the government any more than I absolutely have to because I am not well and haven't been well for years. But I will not take any more from the government than I have to. I do not want to cause taxpayers any more burden. And I'm trying to get myself better so I can get back to work. Anyway, that nearly makes me emotional. Wow. These boarding houses are unregulated, profit-driven scams. Caretakers aren't qualified. Bullying and exploitation are rife. When someone finally leaves, they often lose their bond too. And because they're back on the streets, they don't have the capacity to fight it. The owners pocketing all the profits off human suffering. The SHS worker told me they feel like a messenger for bad news. That's it. People come to this sector wanting to make a difference, but the system forces them to crush hope instead of build it. They can't speak publicly, but I can. Our elected officials are failing us. We must demand immediate increases in SHS funding, new crisis accommodation facilities, opening of large amounts of supported living for complex cases, massive investment in social housing build now. This is an emergency. Silence is complicit. We must act. Net negative immigration now. Yeah, I'm just a bit worried about social housing. But yeah, no, while people need it, they need to be providing housing at least. Holy cow, there's a lot of people in tents, guys, here in Australia. I'm sure there is in other countries too. Rational Aussie said most jobs are already UBI, Universal Basic Income. We just don't call them that because we need to convince the humans doing it their work is meaningful, when it really adds zero economic value to society. And I believe they're talking about a lot of government workers. It's Universal Basic Income. There's really not a job there. Want to know who the real bludgers are? Sorry, guys. If you work for the government, I'm not saying you might do your job fine, really well, okay? Just a lot of government workers tend to be. You know how you got like 4 guys standing around while one guy digs a hole, you know, that type of thing? Yeah. Craig Kelly said at 5:20pm, and a lot of office workers too. Craig Kelly said at 5:20pm last evening, wind and solar were providing 1.4% of New South Wales electricity. Now imagine if they turn coal off. Can any of the renewable superpower crowd explain how we're going to keep the lights on once all the coal-fired power stations close down? And if you say big batteries, how are you going to charge up all the batteries with enough juice to get you through the night if you've drained them the night before? Fairy dust and unicorn farts don't generate electricity, because it doesn't. Bring back coal, use gas, and introduce nuclear. My God. It was only providing 1.4 of New South Wales. That's one state. Okay? So you turn all the coal-fired power stations off, you're going to get 1.4% of electricity. Well done. Okay, this is Anthony Guglielmi. I don't know how to say that either. Secret Service Spox. We vigorously investigate anything that can be taken as a potential threat against our protectees. We are aware of the social media posts by the former FBI director, and we take rhetoric like this very seriously. Beyond that, we do not comment on protective intelligence matters. There you go. But the FBI will be working with them. And Tulsi Gabbard, I believe, is speaking out and demanding that James Comey be tried, imprisoned. X-Alert said breaking human remains found near Taylor Swift's beachside Rhode Island mansion. It wasn't a chef, was it? I don't know. Some chefs seem to be found near mansions. I don't know. Let's have a look, actually. Is there anything in here that we can... Somehow that wasn't on my bingo list for today. Comey's plot to assassinate Trump took priority. Swift getting rid of the body. I want to hear what real Alex Jones has to say first. Wow. And I won't be covering the Diddy or Epstein just yet. I'll be saving all the Epstein footage that James O'Keefe is releasing bit by bit to try and make one video out of it. Everybody's doing Diddy. Whoops. Might be a slip of the tongue there. Everybody's reporting on Diddy, okay? They're not all doing Diddy, but they're reporting on him. So I'm going to just leave it until I get a summation of what happened, okay? So just bear with me on that one too. I've still got to do the slavery video, and I tried to yesterday and it didn't work. I only got part of it. So then I realised there was a whole lot more to the thread. So that's coming too. Joe Lang said the media still hasn't figured out what happened yet. The writing's on the wall. This is another big signal if you grasp what's actually going on. For all 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency, in those years only Americans would enjoy benefits like no taxes on tips or overtime under the massive party line legislation House Republicans are trying to pass this month. Then it won't be until 2029 when congressional GOP incumbents have already run for a re-election and Trump is gone from the White House that voters feel the sting from the many pay-fors. That includes much of the Medicaid cuts estimated to strip healthcare coverage for more than 10 million people, plus the nixing of clean energy tax perks Democrats created during the Biden administration. Trump is front-loading all the tax cuts for the American people and putting off any cuts in benefits or government spending. Why? This is a huge signal. How long is he putting off the cuts in government spending? In each slice of the mega bill House, Republicans are working to tie up this week. Policies would kick in immediately that carry favour with voters, and add trillions of dollars to the federal deficit before those costs are ultimately offset with unpopular policies that hit after the 2026 midterms and the 2028 presidential election. Just hang in with me. Hang in there. God, I'm tongue-tied again. As I've been saying for a while now, Trump is trying to quickly help prepare the American people for the turbulence that's coming as we move from a corrupt financial system into a new system of sound money, backed by gold and no longer controlled by a cabal of puppet masters. All the spending cuts are being backloaded and put off till after the midterms. Why? Trump already knows that all the election fraud nationwide is going to be exposed before the midterms, and it will change everything. A new election system after mass arrests will completely transform the entire election system in every single state. Now, which Congress do you trust more to protect the American taxpayers and to cut the corruption completely out of government? The Congress in power now, or the Congress that's coming after our entire election system is cleansed and transformed? The time is approaching where the entire country is going to be supporting MAGA and MAHA. That will be when our government finally represents the American people and we can put in place the many safeguards that Trump has already planned. The best is yet to come. How many times have you heard that? Clarkson's Farm said special guest appearance, and I believe all the comments are going, oh yes, please do it. It would be the most watched episode ever and it would be hilarious. It would actually. Oh, man, yes, please. That's the duo the world needs right now. Make farming great again. I don't think he hated Trump. I don't know. Maybe he did. But I know that Jeremy Clarkson has been outspoken on all the progressive woke shit going on. Oz Integrity said breaking Australia Post dumps carbon neutral. Major corporations are shunning green scams in droves. Australia Post has dumped carbon neutral deliveries. Good. Bit by bit. Hopefully Trump has a big influence worldwide on all this. Melinda Richards said, trigger warning, Australia needs a leader like Donald Trump. And we do. Can we have one, please? Lozzie B said, when did Aussies just give up? We used to be a strong, proud nation of people. Now many Aussies talk a big game, but when it's time to stand up and fight back, they're nowhere to be seen. Everyone complains about the state of our country, but how many of you have actually taken a stand or showed up in support of those brave enough to step up? And why not? Silence equals complicity. We are witnessing the pathetic demise of a once great nation because Aussies won't make a stand. Fight back. If there's a protest in your city, go. Any way you can, fight back. Contact your local representatives. Things like that, I do. Sometimes they block me, but I do. The rubber duck said, I could be wrong, but I bet the first arrest will be Netanyahu. Do you? Now that would be interesting. War crimes at all? I don't know. Just asking. I don't know. I don't know which side. Yet Netanyahu is a... Anyway, I like the Jewish people. I don't like their leaders. And what do you call them? Little spies and things that go around like Epstein. Brian Cates, political columnist and pundit, said there's a reason Trump's deal with Mike Johnson involves keeping the House out of his way while he gets stuff done. The House and Senate are deeply compromised. Many of you apparently do not understand what Congress's real job is, what real job it has had for decades. Let me explain it to you. The job our compromised Congress has really been doing is protecting the corrupt system that Trump, Elon, Doge and the Cabinet is currently in the process of destroying. Anons already know why the Congress has to be kept out of the way, where it can't muck anything up until Trump's ready for about half to two-thirds of Congress to be removed from office, and many of them prosecuted. You seriously think a House Senate where a large number of the members are involved in the corruption would do anything to help Trump destroy the corrupt system they're part of, enriching themselves in? McConnell and the Senate GOP are doing everything they can to stop Trump, to hamper his efforts. They have zero interest in passing any bills that helps him destroy their gravy trains. Johnson's deal with Trump removes Congress from Trump's path so they can't stop him as he destroys their corrupt system. Rand Paul already showed you this. They don't have any interest whatsoever in codifying this agenda, and if they could, they'd stop his dismantling of the globalist corrupt system. Congress is doing exactly what I want it to do, stay out of Trump's way until the indictments is unsealed. Interesting. By the way, everything mentioned here is theory until proven fact, and everyone mentioned here is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. I've got to remember to say that at the beginning. If only I could. Miss Smudge said if puberty is a normal process and shouldn't be blocked, why is menopause suddenly an affliction that needs research, medicine and millions in funding and promotes endless effing whining and victimhood? I have no idea. But throwing money at problems normally doesn't work. I don't know. Well, a lot of people just bang on about it. Look, it happens. I don't think it's natural either. I don't know, just me personally. Oh, where did I go? There it is. But yes, it shouldn't be endless whinging and victimhood. Okay? Definitely not. Deal with it. Shh, quietly. Like we have to, you know? I do, every night. Clandestine said, hear me out. What if Trump just negotiated a new deal with Iran without Netanyahu? Trump visited the Red Arrows near Iran's border in Saudi Arabia, Qatar and UAE. Yeah, I got that right. Now we get news Iran are willing to give up their nukes. I find it hard to believe this is all merely coincidence. To me, it looks like Trump's trip to the Middle East might not actually be about signing economic deals with Saudi Arabia and Qatar. I think there's more going on behind the scenes that we do not know about. The real things are going on behind closed doors. Trump is up to something. Kuwait, here, Iran's here. Ah, look at that. Tehran, Istanbul. Why is that circled? I don't know. But anyway, maybe he went there too. I don't know. Okay, the Vigilant Fox. Oh, I wonder if Timmy can come on today or bookmark to the folder, medical. Because we got a DMSO thread. You know, another health one, you know. Yeah. Remember when they said Trump wanted everyone to inject bleach into themselves? That's not what he was talking about. Okay, Retard Finder said these two retards are about to find out because they effed around and found out too. Not only did James Comey put a post up with 8647, so did these guys. Brian and Ed Krasenstein. Yeah. Real lefties. They're going to find out the hard way. Wall Street Ape said this woman works at a doctor's office. She shows the amount of free food that's dropped off by pharmaceutical reps every single day to their office. Again, every single day, pharma reps drop all this off so they'll write more of their prescriptions, allegedly. This is our healthcare industry. She works at a doctor's office. She gets free food every day from sales reps, so let me show you everything I got today. At work for free, get Starbucks, Chinese food, Dunkin' Donuts, cookies, or is that Dunkin' Cookies? I don't know. I remember that they used to get preference. I used to see them in medical centres in, this is back in the 90s, in Sydney, okay? And they'd walk in and they'd talk to the counter and all the patients would be waiting patiently, right, like they're supposed to. And these representatives would sit down for like 1 minute and then be called into the doctor's office before any of the patients. Lovely. That shows me a few things. Anyway, Tosca Austin said there's a genocide taking place in South Africa that people don't want to write about, and it's terrible. Farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're black or white makes no difference to me. It's a terrible thing. Their land is being confiscated. And the media and television don't even talk about it. And there is. It's called Kill the Boers, I believe. And while you've got some people saying, oh, we're not calling for the killing of them yet, you have other politicians yelling it out. Okay, Amuse said genocide. Top Democrat Rick Stengel justified the genocide of white farmers in South Africa, explaining they ought to be punished for the sins of their forebearers. Their collective guilt justifies seizure of their farms and their lives. Excuse me? What the actual... Okay, hang on. Just let me just adjust the volume.
These are the descendants of the people who created the most diabolical system of white supremacy in human history, apartheid. They're not directly responsible for it, but it was a system that actually moved black people off of the arable land. So they inherited the land that the black people had to give up. It was called forced removal. It was something called a Bantustan policy, where they moved black people out of the cities and farmlands into these remote areas with non-arable land. I mean, it was just one of the most worst processes ever. But what has happened in this strange, bizarre world we're living in is that the Afrikaners have become the darling of these right-wing, white supremacist movements around the world, that it's like the lost cause for them. It's like the old Confederacy. They're held up as these white Christians who are being dispossessed of their land. It's like this is a modern replacement theory in a country where, by the way, white people make up 7% of the population and own 78% of the farmland. So it's actually, there's no injustice here.
They wouldn't happen to be showing them how
These
to
are the descendants of
how to fix the farmland when it's destroyed. You know how soil gets destroyed over time? They wouldn't happen to be showing them that and feeding the country or anything, would they? Apparently it's 99 point something percent, or 90 point, it's all over 90%. Okay? Not only that, is he going to give up his house to them? I don't know. Is he going to go over there and let them take the reparations out on him? Oh, this is insane. Seriously. The man is insane. Real Roberts said, and this is King Solomon reporting, holy shit, newly released documents from the National Archives confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that then Vice President Joe Biden routinely handled sensitive government information through private Gmail accounts. Over 82,000 pages of emails have been uncovered, including messages sent under fake names, surpassing the volume involved in Hillary Clinton's infamous espionage scandal. Classified documents include Obama briefing material notes, Situation Room meeting notes, intelligence reports, NSA leaks and communications with foreign leaders, all sent to Joe Biden's private email accounts, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. In other words, the Intelligence Community Inspector General confirmed that Hillary Clinton's emails, stored on her unsecured personal servers in a bathroom closet, contained intelligence from the US government's most secretive and highly classified program, the Special Access Program. Intelligence Community Inspector General Charles McCullough, third, stated, the comprehensive review by the intelligence agencies have final say on classification matters found several dozen emails containing classified information at the confidential, secret and top secret levels. Top secret SAP levels. That's even more sensitive than top secret. There's no mistake. You don't accidentally stumble across it and not realise what it is. Meaning Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden are guilty under the Espionage Act in violation of 18 US Code 793, gathering, transmitting or losing national defence information, and yet Donald Trump was the one who was raided. Jack Smith tampered with evidence, lied to the court about it and got caught. CIA Director John Ratcliffe. What's this one? Julie Kelly said, holy. Special Counsel Jack Smith just admitted the FBI added cover sheets to alleged classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago and took photos for evidence. This confirms my report from last month that the FBI doctored evidence to produce stunt photos of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. There you go. Crazy. And they're going arresting Trump when they should have been arresting Clinton years ago and Joe Biden now. Johnny Midnight says Stephen Miller tells the media they didn't report about Biden being incompetent. It's probably the best video on the internet today. Let's have a listen.
That many of the people in this room for 4 years failed to cover the fact that Joe Biden was mentally incompetent and was not running the country. It is also true that many people in this room who have used this talking point that Elon is not elected fail to understand how government works. So I'm glad for the opportunity for a brief civics lesson. A president is elected by the whole American people. He's the only official in the entire government that is elected by the entire nation, right? Judges are appointed, members of Congress are elected at the district or state level, just one man. And the Constitution, Article 2, has a clause known as the vesting clause, and it says the executive power shall be vested in a president, singular. The whole will of democracy is imbued into the elected president. That president then appoints staff to then impose that democratic will onto the government. The threat to democracy, indeed the existential threat to democracy, is the unelected bureaucracy of lifetime tenured civil servants who believe they answer to no one, who believe they can do whatever they want without consequence, who believe they can set their own agenda no matter what Americans vote for. So Americans vote for radical FBI reform, and FBI agents say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote for radical reform on our energy policies, but EPA bureaucrats say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote to end DEI, racist DEI policies, and lawyers in the department. It is true that many of the people in this room for 4 years failed to cover the fact that Joe Biden was mentally incompetent. That many of the
There you go. They did. Including, what's her name? Jean-Corinne Pierre and the other one. I can't even remember her name. Psaki. Okay. Anyway, yeah, they all lied. Liz Churchill said, just terrific. I state without reservation that the United States government under Biden and Harris was the world's largest child trafficking organisation in modern history. The probability that children are being abused at this very moment is 100%. Do you want to hear it?
I state without reservation that the United States federal government is the world's largest child sex trafficking organization in modern history. The probability that thousands of these UACs are being raped at this very moment is 100%. Chairman Higgins, Ranking Member Correa, Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Ivey, and the members of the subcommittee, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the evil of child trafficking caused by the open border policies under President Joe Biden and his administration. I served in the United States Border Patrol for 24 years until I retired as a Deputy Patrol Agent in charge in San Diego sector. I worked under 5 presidential administrations, and only one president secured the border, President Donald Trump. Border Patrol agents went from working and being supported by the greatest border president in American history to the worst, President Joe Biden. My last year in the Border Patrol was Joe Biden's first year in office. On his first day in office, I watched in disbelief as 94 executive orders cascaded down from Washington, D.C., obliterating every immigration policy that had been provided the most secure border in America's history. Border Patrol agents were forced to carry out unconstitutional orders that violated every law in the Immigration Nationality Act. President Biden, through Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, created policy out of thin air, ignored federal immigration law, and facilitated the largest mass invasion into America that the world has ever seen. The United States of America will have spent hundreds of billions of dollars in 4 years to fund the needs of over 50 million illegal aliens that populate our nation. Between 1 in 6 and 1 in 7 residents in America is an illegal alien. America has suffered the greatest demographic shift in modern history. After serving in the United States Border Patrol for 24 years, spending a year researching and writing a best-selling book entitled Invaded, The Intentional Destruction of the American Immigration System, and filming 2 documentaries, I state with complete certainty that Biden, Harris, and Mayorkas intentionally, strategically, and purposely weaponized illegal immigration and used it as a tool to fundamentally transform America. Inside this invasion, the unspoken evil of child trafficking, and more specifically, child sex trafficking, has flourished. At the end of this current administration, the number of children trafficked will have grown to over 550,000 unaccompanied alien children known as UACs. This horrific number of children will have been arrested, released into America, and then lost. To put this into context, during President Trump's last year in office, Customs and Border Protection arrested 30,557 UACs who were accounted for and not lost. Conversely, in the first year of Biden's presidency, CBP arrested 147,975 UACs, most of which are unaccompanied for and lost. In 2023, Correctional Hearings Health and Human Services Javier Becerra and Director of Office of Refugee Resettlement Robin Marcos forced to admit that their agency had no contact with over 85,000 UACs. They were lost. What did DHS, HHS, and ORR do to correct this humanitarian disaster? Nothing. In fact, all 3 agencies created further policies and procedures to increase the efficiency of moving UACs from the border to the interior of the United States to unknown and unvetted sponsors. Unaccompanied alien children were being handed off to total strangers. Then they disappeared into the darkness of labor and sex trafficking. In fact, a year later in August of 2024, the Inspector General with oversight over DHS issued a report stating that the number of lost UACs was not 85,000, it was over 320,000. My business partner, Ryan Matt, and I spent 6 months traveling across America, filming a documentary titled, What is Treason Trafficked? The evil of child sex trafficking is difficult to digest and understand. However, after conducting numerous interviews with officers, agents, and whistleblowers from every alphabet agency and department, it was made clear to us that the federal government knowingly and actively facilitated these criminal acts.
There you go. We kind of knew that, but it's good to have the actual confirmation of it, you know. Kevin Sorbo, apparently Biden's in the hospital. I don't know. Some people think he's dead. C3 said these guys just disappeared. They were used to push the white supremacy scam created by the Biden admin. They still need to be fired, publicly shamed and prosecuted. We know they were feds. The masks and matching car keys and jackets. The hats. Like, how many protesters do you know who go to a protest dressed exactly the same? How many? Do you know many like this? They're glowing, okay? They're glowing so hard, and what a glowy is a fed. These people, either that or they're paid by them, but these people these people need to be held accountable, sorry. I wonder where they did go. Insurrection Barbie said, so let me get this straight. The plane that was a gift from Qatar was actually a conversation that was started a year ago by the Biden admin with the Qataris. You literally can't make this stuff up, especially after the mainstream was trying to say that it was a gift to Trump, for Trump, and no one else. It was a gift to the United States, the plane. Anyway, Let's not let truth get in the way of anything, you know. MJ Truth Ultra said this is the third time I've seen them call for the assassination of President Trump. Avenatti and CIA Brennan, 2018, unauthorised missile fail. Governor Whitmer, 2020, 86, shorthand for kill murder. 45, Donald Trump being the 45th president. Former FBI Director James Comey, 2025, 86, shorthand for kill murder. And 47, Donald Trump being the 47th president. We have seen this before. Do you remember the missile in Hawaii? Unauthorised missile fired. Unauthorised emergency incoming missile threat activated Hawaii. No MSM investigations. Biggest threat to the American people. F-16s intercept. Michael Avenatti this week promises to be very interesting. Might want to follow my Insta handle. And they're connecting the date with the date here. 10th of June, 2018 with the 10th of June here. This date here that I can't actually really see. John Brennan said your wrong-headed protectionist policies and antics are damaging our global standing as well as our national interest. Your worldview does not represent American ideals. To allies and friends, be patient. Mr. Trump is a temporary aberration. The America you once knew will return. No, it's not going to, mate. How do you feel now? This was back in 2019, 2018 or something. Interesting, isn't it? She's got 8645 on a cup. They send communications to each other in the background of things. They've done it for a long time. We had no idea. We found out a few years ago. This is James Comey's post, 8647. Done with pebbles. Okay, that's James Comey. Have they got their Krasensteins in this one? Maybe not. Alex Soros, last year the crime and inflation crisis largely evaporated. So did the leading theories about what caused them. A bullet hole with 40... Hang on, what is it? There was something about this, that this equaled 45 or something, and this was meant for Trump. Okay. Yep, former FBI Director James Comey just signalled for the assassination of President Trump. We just read that. What am I doing? No idea. Okay, Spitfire said this is what Comey's now started. This needs to be handled swiftly. This is Brian Krasenstein, one of those two little short guys I showed you earlier. The little lefties. Brian Krasenstein has written 8647 him now. This is what needs to happen. Trump's cabinet members need to immediately conspire together behind his back to 8647 him. They need to come up with a foolproof plan to make sure that their plot is a solid one and work together in a way that will save America via the 25th Amendment. And Ed Krasenstein said, it's time. And this was on the 15th of the 5th, 25. Look out for Trump. Pray for Trump. Dr. Interracial said James Comey's lying. He knows exactly what he meant, and the FBI needs to arrest him immediately, and all his communications need to be confiscated. He could have signalled someone. Comey said, I posted an earlier picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assume were a political message. Why did you assume that? That numbers are a political message? I didn't realise some folks associated those numbers with violence. Oh, really? You were in the police, you were an FBI agent, and you don't know what 86 means? It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. He took the post down because he was caught. Okay, Gunther Eagleman said, hey, Comey, you FA'd. Now you find out. Christie Nome disgraced former FBI Director James Comey just called for the assassination of POTUS. DHS and Secret Service is investigating this threat and will respond appropriately. What's this one say? Comey truly is a piece of shit, Dan Scavino Jr. While he'll claim not to know what 8647 means, there's no doubt the former disgraced FBI director knows exactly what he's doing. With a plea to bad actors and terrorists to assassinate the POTUS while travelling internationally. Don't let him get away with it. And this is in response to Keir Starmer saying he's already deported over 24,000 people with no right to be here and he won't stop there. Douglas Carswell said now deport the 850,000 foreigners living in social housing in London. They need to do a lot more. Tina Zimmerman said James O'Keefe releases the first ever footage from inside Jeffrey Epstein's private island mansion. I showed that, didn't I? Yes, I did. That's it. 50 minutes. Wow. What else have I got in here? Oh, can we go to the top of the Gateway Pundit? See if there's anything I missed, because I'm sure there's a lot I've missed this week. Breaking disturbing audio of Robert Herr's interview showing Biden repeatedly struggling to remember names and dates released. I'm repeatedly struggling to talk these days. Breaking James Comey to be escorted by Secret Service to DC field office for interview over Trump assassination post. Did you know that James Comey, right, sometimes when they put him in as like in official government correspondence and stuff, they actually wrote C-O-R-N-E-Y, corny, right? And years ago, we learnt through this site here that was supposed to, where was I? That was supposed to distract from Comey actually being linked to things. Sorry. Just checking something here, guys. Okay. Timmy has sent me this. I was walking along the beach and these rocks and shells suddenly appeared. I assumed it was a political message. Cool shell formation on my beach walk. Trump won, bitch. Apparently. There you go. It is appropriate. Joe Rogan guest reveals Facebook's secret experiment that manipulated 700,000 users without warning. Oh, yeah, that's when they showed certain people negative posts all day and they showed other people positive posts all day because they love playing with your psyche. Facebook is not a good place. Air traffic fail exposes Biden chaos. Victor reacts. Harry Sisson comes to the defence of James. Of course he would. Harry Sisson's was a little Biden puppet leading up to the election. 10 inmates, including murderers, escaped from New Orleans jail, may have had inside help. Are you surprised? Italian PM Giorgia Meloni endorses right-wing favourite George Simeon for Romanian president. Well done. Go right-wing. Kid Rock scorches garbage Bruce Springsteen over recent TDS meltdown. Bruce Springsteen's had TDS for years, just like Robert De Niro and Stephen King. What disappointments you guys are. President Trump goes off after Supreme Court blocks him from deporting Venezuelan gang members under alien enemy. I thought that was dealt with. I swore I saw something on that. Anyway. I should be bookmarking a lot more. Trump and Elon's secret plot to save your retirement. Or maybe I did bookmark it and it's way down the bottom of the bookmarks. I've got a lot of stuff down there that I haven't read. Breaking Supreme Court blocks Trump from deporting Venezuelan gang members under Aliens Enemies Act. Breaking O'Keefe Media Group releases newly obtained footage of Jeffrey Epstein's private island bedroom. The O'Keefe Media Group on Friday released newly obtained images. Yeah, I was going to save these. I did show a little bit of it, but I'm going to try and save it. Or do it on a slow news day. One of the two. Okay, White House slams Episcopal church for racist double standard after refusing to resettle white South African refugees. Yeah, human remains were discovered just a stone's throw from pop megastar Taylor Swift's sprawling oceanfront compound. Police responded to a call about possible human remains in the elite Watch Hill neighbourhood, gated oceanside enclave known for its multi-million-dollar mansions. When I hear gated, someone killed. Anyway, they've got multi-million-dollar mansions, celebrity residence, and ironclad privacy. How did he get in there? He, she, the person? Upon arrival, officers located what appeared to be a human leg bone. The grim find was recovered and transferred to the Rhode Island Medical Examiner's office for further analysis. So far, the identity of the remains is unknown. Do we know if it's male or female? Oh, it was probably a couple of football fields away from Taylor Swift's house and the Ocean House. Okay. I don't know, is this just a distraction? Seems like it. Donald Trump has some pretty good political instincts. CNN's Harry Enton on President Trump's rising approval ratings. Of course he does. I didn't realise that was a question. It's very... Look what he's doing. Oh, my God. Yeah. Department of Veterans Affairs confirms it's on track to end primate testing deadline. What? Am I reading that right? Primate testing deadline. Before 2026 deadline. Primate testing, what the hell? Am I, just confused? Does that mean something else? No, that doesn't mean something else. The Secretary of Veterans Affairs has confirmed that... What's Veterans Affairs doing? Testing on cats and dogs and primates. But the VA is still conducting horrific spinal cord injuries on Oh, no, dear God, please, no. Why are they doing this? The changes come after years of campaigning by the watchdog organisation White Coat Waste, which seeks to end cruel and unnecessary taxpayer-funded animal research. Since 2016, the organisation's worked to expose how the VA was giving puppies heart attacks, injecting monkeys with angel dust, crippling kittens, drilling into cats' skulls, and much more. Okay, I don't really want to... President Donald Trump laid the groundwork for this during his first term by issuing a directive to the Environmental Protection Agency to prioritise reducing animal testing. But why are they giving them bloody angel dust and giving puppies heart attacks and injecting and crippling kittens and drilling into the skull? What are they getting out of this? What tests are they doing this for? Oh, my goodness. Aiming for a 30% reduction by 2025 and complete elimination by 20... Can we not have that sooner? He also ended a nicotine addiction study on monkeys at the FDA and banned several dog experiments at the VA. Joe Biden had upended the plan to phase out the testing, which WCW also revealed. But Trump's new administration has worked even harder to end the outdated practice. Good. Needs to, not happen. How hard is it to shut it down? The new administration has already begun ending animal testing at both the Food and Drug Administration and Environmental Protection Agency. It has also cancelled grants for many cruel research projects and saving taxpayers millions of dollars. Though Peter keeps making the media rounds claiming victory for many white coat waste wins, they remain the only animal advocacy organisation to shut down any government primate lab in nearly a decade, any government dog testing labs in almost 20 years, and any government cat labs in the last 40. Wow. I didn't think PETA were good because they started putting rules and regulations all over the place at one point and weren't protecting animals. President Trump sends special surprise birthday message to 104-year-old World War II veteran. I can't believe that what are the veterans of... I don't know. I'm starting to really question... I already question everything in this world, but I'm really starting to question more. Is that possible? President Trump's big, beautiful bill fails in committee after 5 House Republicans vote no. Largest tax increase in American history looms. The Trump agenda suffered a major setback. When was this? Yesterday. Or maybe it's still yesterday where you are. You suffered a major setback today after a handful of Republicans voted a key bill, delivering it down in committee. Now the largest tax increase in American history looms unless the GOP does an about-face. Ooh, here comes the crash. Sounds like to me. As the Gateway pundit reported, the House Republicans on the Ways and Means Committee, led by Chairman Jason Smith, previously released the text of a monumental new tax reform package titled the One Big Beautiful Bill. The bill, strongly backed by President Donald Trump, is aimed at delivering historic cuts to American families, workers and small businesses. The 389-page bill includes a long list of pro-growth, America First provisions that echo many of the successful features of the 2017 Trump tax cuts, this time with added firepower. This includes no taxes on tips and overtime, but 5 GOPers in the House Budget Committee shot it down primarily over cost concerns. One particular gripe was the Medicaid cuts and the expiration of several wasteful green energy tax credits were pushed back several years while most of the goodies were delivered up front. Trump's the One Big Beautiful Bill cannot move forward to a full vote in the House or Senate, at least not in its current form. The final vote was 16-21 against. Here were the Republicans who voted against the president's agenda. Rep. Andrew Clyde of Georgia, Rep. Chip Roy of Texas, Rep. Josh Burchine of Oklahoma, Rep. Ralph Norman of South Carolina, Rep. Lloyd Smucker of Pennsylvania. Sorry, that was a bit of a slip of the tongue there. Schmuck. I don't know. I'm just nearly slipped out, okay? The House Budget Committee has voted down the reconciliation bill. Vote was 16-21. We know who they were. The committee is not expected to come back today, according to Rep. Jody Arrington. She said at close of hearing, I do not anticipate us coming back today. Yeah, I just read that. Why do we have to repeat that? Okay. Trump said Republicans must unite behind the One Big Beautiful Bill. Not only does it cut taxes for all Americans, but it'll kick millions of illegal aliens off Medicaid to protect it for those who are the real ones in need. The country will suffer greatly without this legislation, with their taxes going up 65%. It'll be blamed on the Democrats, but that doesn't help our voters. We don't need grandstanders in the Republican Party. Stop talking, get it done. It's time to fix the mess that Biden and the Democrats gave us. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Do what he says. It's not hard. Okay, I think that'll do. I think I'll go to the... Oh, shit, I've got to put my whole head on screen again. Okay, I'm going to go to the comments. And then if Timmy wants to, I don't know if Timmy is able to come over to Rumble today for a quick DMSO, whatever it is. Okay. Where am I? Oh, Deb's asking Alex for tips on how to... No, you won't be able to pin the comments. I do that, Deb, but putting the 2 links in the one post. So, because you can only pin one comment, so I can't pin like one or the other, you know what I mean? I mean, both of them, if they're separate. That's what I mean. Sorry, I've got a really sore neck today, and I've got a bit of a headache, but I'm here. And I've got to mow my lawn today. What else do I have to do? I have to clean the chicken coop. I had a possum in the chicken coop last night. Walked in there, he's eating all the chicken's food. He didn't attack the chickens because our Australian possums are pretty good, actually. Depends on which one you get. Some can attack you and some are really nice. Well, this one climbed up the cage on the inside to get like level with my face, and I just took a step back because I wasn't sure, you know. But it tried to climb up my leg. I think it was asking for food. I ended up throwing grapes out later on anyway. Deb said, as you can see, our beautiful Alex, there's been a bit of fun seeing who gets there first in the chat. Yep, it's normally been Kai. Out to lunch, said, Deb, our love, does anyone else holler to their spouses? Hev's on tonight. Shannon said, not even first, but I beat Kai. I don't think you did, Shannon. Kai was the second comment. Shannon said, I may miss a bit as I have an optometrist appointment at 9:30. Oh, okay. Shannon's probably in the optometrist appointment, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Deb, sorry, Shannon. Kai was second. You need Specsavers. OPSM. Deb said, we miss out Shannon in chat. You bring fun to the chats. Yes, he always does, doesn't he? Alex said, I'm glad you got it. I can send you links I have. Great little game, Deb. Okay. Alex said, hope it all goes well, Shannon. Deb said, hello, everybody. Deb J. How you going, Deb J? Okay. Deb J said, good to have you back. We're a neat bunch. I'm way back in the comments, mind you. I'm at the beginning. I was able to scroll back to the beginning. Hey, Zena, loving that you can be here this morning. Yeah, we love it too. Timo said, hello, how's it going? Hello, Miss Alex. Been a while since we've seen you. Doctor in the house. Senator said, I'm so ready to throw a few zingers into the chat today. Duck, but all towards the lefty losers. Zena said, Hev, did you know that your intro DVD is so much like the drive along Bass Strait and Tassie? Really? Beautiful. Australia's a beautiful country. Yeah, the volume is great, isn't it? I don't know what happened. The computer shut down and updated one night, and the next day I came in and opened it all up, and it was louder than it has been. I don't know. This mic is picking up everything. Hey, Paranormal Oz. Kai said audio's 5x5. Zena said the only ocean to the horizon is on the right. Oh, okay. There you go. It jumped. I won't be able to get back to the beginning now, will I? Nope. I did see Crewmel, how you going? And I did see Jason, how you going? Was it Jason? Was in there before? Okay. Not sure if it was James or Jason. I just briefly seen it. Okay. I can't get... Oh, George is in there too. How you going, George? I'm only, able to see other people saying hello to you guys because I can't scroll back anymore. Deb said, yes, Alex, Shannon send me plenty of great content. Yes, he does, doesn't he? Lucette said, I keep hearing that. Oh, Lucette, how you going? The financial reset is coming soon. God, I hope so. I believe so. Be prepared, guys. Alex said, me too. He's kept me going, Deb. Deb said, we do love our Shannon. Alex said, we all need someone new in our parliament. Starmer is power hungry and gone mad with it. I know. Deb said, a truck carrying a wind turbine crashed into a bridge. Oh, really? Alex said, I dreamed about Netanyahu and Trump the other night. Really? Lucette said, Alex, Starmer's a sociopath. Zena said, I'm just pissed that we have got to the point where we have to take a stand against the ones who are governing us. Yes, I know. Deb J said, our good governor just passed a bill to stop fluoride in our water. Well done. Yep, you need that. Alex said, before that news came out too, made me wonder. Zena said, politicians have extremely short memories. Yeah, they're hoping we do too. But we don't. Hey, Rod, how you going? I got a cough, guys. One sec. And did I say hello, Virginia, before? Because I see you on this side. Oh, this one's back at the beginning. Oh, hang on. Just let me grab the... Oh, I won't move it. Tim has said 86 is a term the mob uses, so the FBI and James definitely know what 86 mean. Yep. Senator said, yeah, and Corey held on to those pedo symbols from public knowledge as Comey, you mean? Okay, where am I up to? Alex said, apparently if you go to the estate in 2018 on your Q thing, says a few things. Yeah, I should be looking up that. When I get those posts, I should actually be looking on here because it's hard to scroll through while you're going. June, I see I'd have to just sit there and scroll. So I'll have to do that. I'll have to try and remember to do that. That would help. But yeah, that's what they do. And it's normally the dates or numbers of things that they refer back to, the number of the post or the date of the post. Definitely. Deb J said, let's see what happens to Corny. You knew. Deb J. Azea said, patronising communism, wordplay. Alex said the date that the 86 was posted is what I mean on... Yeah, I know what you mean. J1 thinks the Pope is a Jesuit Satanist. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it could be. But his brother loves Trump. His brother's MAGA, apparently. The Pope's brother. Zane said when Albo won the election, his first call was to his girlfriend, a pack of bags, off on taxpayer world holiday. That's our boy. Yep. He's everywhere but in Australia. That's why I think Penny Wong's are running things. Because he's never here. Deb said Catholic Church has gone rainbow. Yeah, it had been. We'll see how this one's doing it as well. Deb J said the Twin Towers were 86-47 days ago when he found the shells on the shore. Alex said apparently he took the post down and replied that he thought it was a political thing. He should have stuck to his account being hacked. Trick they always say to me. Yeah, definitely. Zena said, aren't you excommunicated if you divorce? Well, I believe you're supposed to be, but I don't know. George said, I'm okay, Zena, thanks. How are you? Zena said, let alone Albo's attitude. Oh, he's just drinking and flying everywhere and stumbling down the steps, apparently. Alex said, they think we're all stupid. Yeah, they do. They do. Alex said symbols will be their downfall, apparently. Zena said, much better, been recovering but getting back to normal. Oh, God love you. Deb J said, Alex, absolutely, but they're wrong. I'm going to try and move this thing without it jumping. I did it. I think I did it. Yep. Okay. Kai said, Zena supposedly ex-combed. Deb said, so glad I learnt that. Alex, symbols will bring them down. What was that? Just checking. Okay, Alex has sent it to me. Okay, the one that links to. Hang on a sec. I need to have a drink of my tea before I choke on a tickle in my throat. Nope. Yes, he really said that. Abraham Lincoln said, we the people are the rightful masters of both Congress and the courts, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who would pervert the Constitution. They knew this day would come, evil everywhere, corruption everywhere. We fight. We the people. There you go. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. I still had to cough. I should actually, hang on, I'm going to mute the mic. I've got to do it again. It's about to get very cold here. We're about to stay under 10 degrees Celsius for the next couple of days up in these mountains here. Okay. Alex said it's been like that for a while. They always turn a blind eye to the most horrendous things. Have you seen their blow-up mascot, Loose? I think they put it up last year, Deb. So I said, Hev, did you see him tackling the stairs of the plane when he landed in Jakarta? I did. I played it yesterday on a video. I made videos this week, and I might be doing that for the next few days because I've got an inspection on Tuesday. Have to mow my lawn. I have to... What do I have to do? Mow the lawn, clean the chicken coop out, which needs cleaning anyway. I want to shampoo the carpets and just tidy up, that's all. Yeah. Kai said, until about 8 years ago, I drank like a fish. Oh, really? Deb said, so glad you're improving, sweet Zena. Alex said, they're always wrong-uns. Zena said, Hev, they need more than a bed and a roof. A few walls and a blanket would be good too. How generous of them, though. Yeah, exactly. Shannon said, whoops, missed the start. Hey, Real Housewife, how you going? Good to see ya. Alex said, yes, me too, and another reason they probably wanted to get rid, monitor social media like TikTok. People are sharing too much and they don't like that, Deb. No, they don't. And Alex said, yeah, you're back, Shannon. And everyone's saying hello to each other. Oh, Real Housewife said, I didn't know you weren't well. I'm so sorry, Hev. No, it's okay. I've been unwell for like 21 years now. It's okay. I'm not dead yet, so... yeah, just don't function normally, that's all. Zena said, have real estates won't approve if it's more than 35% of your income, and yet rent is sometimes more than your income. Exactly, Zena. Well, here in New South Wales, I don't know where, I think are you in Queensland? But here in New South Wales, they did put it to 50% of your income. But you cannot pay rent that's going to be more than 50% of your income. So if I went and tried to apply for another house, I wouldn't get it because they're all more than 50% of my income. That's why I got to stay where I am. I'm stuck and I've got to stay. Shannon said, about to leave for my appointment. It's only 8:45. Appointment is 9:30. Alex said, oh, your hair looks beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't think they did a very good job, but, you know, hey, better than my job. Zena said, I'm scraping in on just less than half. Okay, where am I? Deb said, when the battery exploded, they'll keep the neighbourhood warm. Rod said, hey, Hev, Mac, Kai, I've been thinking about you. Zena said, well, for a few days at least. Shannon said, how's your scratchy cat? Alex, hopes calmed down a bit because Alex got scratched across the face. Lucette said, hello to everyone who said hello to me, love yous. Zena said, no, not a slip of the tongue, Hev lols. And Cruelmel's in here, and... Okay. Lucette said, I keep hearing the financial reset is coming soon. God, I hope so. Yeah, me too. Alex said, hopefully it's not to digital. Alex said, we need someone new in our parliament. Yep, I did read that one. And the wind turbine one. And the dream about Netanyahu, Alex. And Trump. Sorry. I forgot that one. Okay. Alex said, and a psychopath. He would happily throw us all to the wolves. He's apparently handing our military over to the EU. Well, I'm hearing the EU is going to not last very long. Alex said, must be all the coke they're sniffing, Xena. Kai said, I found a politician on my arm yesterday while mowing the grass. Which one? A fly? A gnat? Xena said, Rod, that's what I meant. Rod, just who do they think they are and how did they become like that? They were once just innocent children. Maybe. Groomed their whole life, maybe? Lucette said, Alex, treason. Deb said, yes, the rich fear being poor. Ought to try it sometime. It's not that bad. Kai said, a tick, I found a tick. Oh, a tick? Oh, no. Xena said, Alex, these crackheads taken us into World War III. Yeah, I don't think anyone who does coke should be in charge of anything important at all. Nothing. Alex said, I know it makes me sick. Lucette said, Kai, both are bloodsuckers. Xena said, in the media, gaslight was astounding, even better than Let's Go Brandon. Yep. Rod said, Xena, don't know how we got here, but unfortunately or fortunately, here we go. It was Jason. How you going? Good to see ya. Alex said, call him would be great. I can't go for long, though. As I said, I got a bit of a mad headache, but yeah, I wouldn't mind talking about the DSMO, DMSO, whatever it is. Okay, that one. Jason said, g'day to all in the chat. How you going, Jason? Good to see ya. Deb said, I just used chlorophyll. For what? What happened? Zeta said, come just whistled for the dog. Alex said, don't think it'll be long before they lose it all, Deb. Oh, Comey just whistled for the dog? Is that what you meant to say? Alex said, how healthy for a doctor's office? Oh, yeah, the food. Not very healthy, was it? Kai said, Zena was remark about the talent that would take. Deb said, that's what I thought, Alex. Deb said, yes, the doctor's office has many items from reps. Yes, they do. Zena said, I bought some DMSO, but haven't started using it yet. My eyes need something. Yeah, mine too. Do you have to take that with the other one? There's another one. MMS? Do you have to take DMSO with MMS? I don't know. That's what I need to ask Timmy. It's okay if you can't attend today, Timmy. We'll make it next week. I've only got one post to talk about anyway. I don't know if Timmy's still here. Kai said, whistling may indicate a medical problem, though. Alex said, is that food for the patients or the doctors? Got to keep those patients sick. Nice to make the doctors also patients. Zeta said, the whole South Africa fiasco is downright evil. It is. Alex said, bloody mad world. Paranormal Oz said, was listening earlier. If I had my own truck still working for someone, I'd love to come up and mow your lawn, Hev, for all the good work you do for us. I get my news from Hev. Should start a hashtag. Get my news from Hev. Good on you, Paranormal Oz. God love you. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Criminal said, that guy's nuts. Deb said, they're full of shite. Deb J. Alex said, I'm in the process of setting myself up a 30, 60-day rotating health plan to give myself the best chance of staying healthy so I never have to visit the doctor again. Rod, unless it's Timmy. J1 said, para. Kai said, let them have Africa back. It'll be wasteland in 10 years or less. Yeah, I do believe I might be mistaken, but I do believe the white people went there to show them how to farm on a bigger scale so they could feed their people. And, yeah, because Zimbabwe, what happened when they kicked all the white people out? They starved. They had to beg for them to come back. Okay, just checking. Kai said, yep, I read that one. Zena said, Russia's started taking in South African farmers a few years ago. Yes, they did. Zena said, I agree, Kai, let them show each other how it's done. Soon the aid ships will be sailing to Pretoria. Alex said, thank you, Paranormal Oz. I'm usually pretty good once I'm on a plan. It's just getting there is the hard part. Lucette says, Zena, some have come to the UK for about 10 years. Kai said, I'll only have to see doctors for another 3 to 5 years. After that, I probably won't be aware very often. Oh, Kai, God love you. Prayers for you, Kai. Rod said, Alex, there's a doctor here that also involves nutrition in the mix. Paranormal Oz said, yeah, I'm with you. I'm surprisingly healthy for a drug-addled pisshead. Alex said, I did my own treatment. I thought I needed stitches for the past few weeks. Went pretty well considering. You can buy butterfly stitches from the chemist, and they're like a Band-Aid with no sticky stuff in the middle and just a thin line. But you put, like, say you got a cut here, you put one side on that and you pull it and it shuts the wound, and then stick it down on the other side. Just when you got to take it off, it's a bit, you know. Paranormal is asking Alex what happened. Alex said the best sort of doctor is the one that actually heals you and educates you into healing yourself. Yes. Deb said, yes, they've tried everything to stop Trump, but they did not succeed. They won't either. Paranormal Oz said, guess I sweat it out every day mowing lawns. Yeah, I've heard that. You sweat the alcohol out. Alex said, eating healthy is more than half of getting better. Rod said, Alex, I appreciate him. Alex said, so many fruits, veg and meat have all the vitamins we need. Deb said, Joe was a robot sometimes. He looked like one walking. Yeah, he did. Hey, Sherry, how you going? Paranormal Oz said, luckily for me, I fill my backpack with the best food Coles has and walk the fuck out. I try not to get too much food at Coles, like other than things you can't buy at the butcher or... So Coles mainly for me is cleaning stuff. Stuff like that. But I do sometimes have to buy food at Coles, obviously, you know. J1 said, I'm feeling shitload better being off the wheat. Surprised myself after 40 years of chewing the green. There you go, J1. My turn now. Starchild, how you going? Wow, go get 'em. Paranormal Oz said, bet you're having crazy dreams now, J1. Yes, that is a sign of when you give up. That you have very, vivid dreams. And a lot of dreams. J1 said, Parry, yep, sure do, vivid as. There you go. Tim S. said, Alex, what's the 30-60 day rotating health plan? Alex said, one of my cats accidentally in the middle of the night scratched me really badly on my face next to my eye. I'm lucky I didn't lose my eye, Paranormal Oz. Woo, lucky, Alex. Paranormal Oz said, whenever I stop smoking green, I have... I'm not reading that. Crazy other types of dreams, you know? It jumped now. Has it? It has jumped now. Okay, I'm back to where I was. J1 said, lol's not going to lie, had a few of them as well. Paranormal Oz said, oh, shit, sorry, Alex, that's no good. Hope you didn't get an infection. Cynthia, how you going? Sherry said, hi, Alex, been missing you. Hope you're okay. Rada said, have chores around the house, going to lurking mode and listen. Much love all. Yep, much love, Rod. You too. Lucette said, the child trafficking info is so depressing. The scale of it's shocking and it's happening all over the world. It is. Well, that's what's going to bring the people together, apparently. Alex said, I use coconut oil to stop the bleeding and act as a natural antibiotic, antiseptic, and it's naturally healed me really well. I don't like the hospitals. Paranormal Oz said, that's really smart, Alex. I don't much care for hospitals, but I do like the attention from the pretty nurses. Deb said, paid mob, yes. Shannon said, crisis actors, yes. That's the feds that are dressing up as white supremacists. We got them here in Australia as well. They're paid. One way or another, they are paid to do it, whether they are feds or whether they're paid by the feds. Why are they all dressed the same? I don't know any protest that I've ever been to where everyone's dressed the same. Never. Alex said, oh, Sherry, I've missed you too. I'm doing good. Hope you're well. Zena said, someone had to order in all those uniforms. How long did it take to organise the details? Or is it like FBI, like a uniform that they give and they've got them stored, Oh, yeah, I have the pants, have the jackets, have a cap, have a mask, handing them out to everybody. Deb said, so why hide your face? Yeah, if you're so proud of being a Nazi, why are you hiding your face? Or white supremacists like they're supposed to be, Sherry said, I'm fine, Alex, thank you. Alex said, no infection, just took a while as it was such a deep scratch, but has healed well. Well, I remember I had one right along my nose from my cats. Sandra said, nothing like a journalist saying I didn't know. Paranormal Oz said, awesome, and now you have a badass-looking scar, win-win. Deb said, I had a couple of bad cat scratches in my time, and they take time, and it was not pleasant. Paranormal Oz said, I remember my dad had a record called Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent. Yeah, well, there apparently is a cat scratch fever. Zena said, Deb, happened to me the other night. If I didn't put my hand up over my eye, instead I got a deep scratch on my hand, it hurt bad. J1 said, Alex, in the jungle, the natives were cracking a single antibiotic tab and putting a small amount of it onto the wound to heal it worked well. Lucette said, on the subject of cat scratches, my cat had such sharp claws. He scratched me once and my finger was sliced open. I could see the jelly and oh, Lucette. Yeah, they have very sharp claws. Mine do too. Doesn't take much. Zena said, the treasonous forces are gathering. Paranormal, I said, I'm going to try it. I did my own tailbone infection operation. Oh, wow, trigger warning. Lucette said, so I cleaned it and taped it up with some Band-Aid tape and it healed. I've still got the scar. So I said, why isn't anyone taken in for questioning? Why don't they have to prove they didn't do what they were accused of? Deb said, yes, I will not be reading any gory stuff. I have a weak stomach in person. I probably would faint. It's a real party trick. Paranormal Oz said, I shot cocaine all round it to numb it. Had a big shot of H and got my cut throat razor out to the golf ball size area, squeezed it into the sink and then rubbed a small handful of salt on it. Oh, Paranormal Oz. Holy shit. Zena said, these elites think they're so sophisticated in their taste, but they're just sick fucks. Yeah. Paranormal Oz said, call me Timmy. Alex said, that's awesome. I believe natural healing all the way. It's also where the lab meds were taken from. I'd rather use God's medicine. J1 said, Alex, you are what you eat. Hey, Mr. Edwin, how you doing? Miss Heaven Blessings, as always, have a great telecast. Out to lunch said, Corny likes his... I'm not reading that. Out to lunch. Paranormal Oz said, wish I could post a photo for you, Deb. Edwin said, God bless all chat family. You too, Edwin. God bless you. Yep, everyone is blessing Edwin back. Out to lunch said, Donna found some nice stuff at an estate sale. Oh, nice. Deb said, thank you, Paranormal Oz. The only way to get over phobia is to immerse yourself in it. Paranormal Oz said, good luck for a slow news day at the moment. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? Alex said, I've been looking out for the cat scratch fever, which can apparently affect the lymph nodes, but so far seems okay. I need to check that record, Paranormal Oz. Yeah, Deb's laughing at slow news day, Hev. Yeah, right. Paranormal Oz said, yeah, I don't know if the lyrics describe the symptoms, maybe. Paranormal Oz said, I'd be more worried about the brain-eating parasites from the cat shit. Paranormal Oz said, have you heard about that? Yeah, it's the same thing, I think. You can get it from the poo or because they are in litter, kitty litter, scratching at their... because they normally cover their poop with kitty litter or whatever they're using. They can actually hit the poop, and then if they scratch you, you get it. That's what I believe it is anyway. Paranormal Oz said the Y-Cats ladies get crazy, yeah. But that's where urolithine comes in. Deb said there are loads of distractions. Lucette said primate testing on monkeys. Alex said hopefully I haven't gotten any of those either. Kai said we're also considered primates. Paranormal, I said, what the fuck? Animal abuse is not cool. No, it's not. Yeah, because they're sick, Deb. Move on, please. Evil people, said George. Paranormal, has anyone seen the spiders on different drugs and the different webs they make? Deb Jason. Imagine doing an experiment where you're giving spiders drugs. What possible outcome are you looking for? Why is this experiment taking place? What are they hoping to find? Like, what the... Seriously? I don't get it. Deb said they're satanic. Paranormal Oz said YouTube it. Deb said sick. So said, I'm sorry, there are exceptions to the rule, but white coats are sadistic psychopaths and any other person would be imprisoned. Exactly, animal cruelty. Alex said, indeed, so important what we eat. Don't want any of that Soylent Green. Senator said, there are exceptions, not 3. Paranormal, I said, I love animals. Don't eat Maccas then, Alex. Deb J said, I'd like to give them the same thing. Kai said, most fast food is human-animal mix. Alex said, I sent my dad an article ages ago about it, how vets test a lot of drugs on our pets, which often make them ill and even kill them as there's no regulation, so they're able to get away with it. J1 said, Alex went and bought some whey the other day and half the brands had soy protein in them, sneaky buggers. Yeah. Paranormal Oz said, I'm living with my boss and my favourite of his dogs, Ruby Ruru, who's half dingo, half chihuahua. Sleeps on my bed. I love her so much. Oh, my goodness, half a dingo, half a chihuahua. Like the size difference is a lot between a dingo and a chihuahua. Be cute, though. Alex said, I haven't eaten McDonald's for years, mate. Makes me violently sick the last time I ate it. Yeah, it tends to do that to me too a bit. Kai said, the sheer number of missing persons says we're either eating them or there's a massive pile of dead people hidden somewhere. Paranormal, I said, same here. Out to lunch, said, what does a slap and tickle mean? Paranormal Oz, you know what that means. J1 said, fast food's like MSM, nearly a decade since I consumed either. Out to lunch, said, MD has human DNA in their meat, I've heard. Cena said, they act like it's their money, but that you give them in your taxes, and their empire is falling. Yes, it is. Alex said they also put powdered mealworms in it too, apparently, so it's important to read every label these days and know what the code names are. Yeah, so you're in there in the supermarket, right, with the product on one hand and your phone in the other, searching up, what is this ingredient? Oh, what's that one? Oh. Shopping's getting hard these days, guys. Out to lunch, said Jay, so true. Zena said Lols Lloyd Schmucker, yep. Kai said, yep, and every hot dog ever tested. Mrs. Out to lunch, hey, going? Hello, Hev, you're looking good, darling. Hello to chat family. Let's give Hev a thumbs up. Much love to all. Did you know Donna loves Fred? I do. Donna loves Fred and Fred loves Donna. Out to lunch, said, well, hot dogs we eat, she said. Deb said, slip of the tongue. Kai said, I miss chili dogs. Zena said, why wouldn't politicians want to cut our taxes, I wonder? Yeah, because they're reaping in the benefits. That's the money they spend. How can they virtue signal without throwing all this money at like the Aboriginal community or the LGBTQ community or something? You know, how are they going to virtue signal if they can't use our money? I'm being sarcastic, of course. Out to lunch, said possums here don't contract rabies, I've heard. Kai said a close second. Alex said, sneaky little possum. Yeah. Shannon said, I'm in optometrist OPSM right now. There you go. Out to lunch said, I knew we didn't see Shannon. He probably can't see. Everyone's laughing. Shannon said, in Japan, man come first and woman come second, or sometimes not. Shannon. I can't blame you. I mean, I should be reading them first so that I don't say them out loud. Oh, my goodness. Alex said they wouldn't be able to afford as much Coke, Zena. Yeah, exactly. Imagine that. They're spending our tax dollars on their Coke habits. Like Albanese. Spending our money on not probably just a Coke habit, but an alcohol one, and flying all over the world as well. He can't even stay at home. Fly boy Albo. Kai said, all these years I've been getting confused on boy or girl for out to lunch. I wouldn't ask. Oh, out to lunch is male, Kai. And Mrs. Out to lunch is Mrs. Out to lunch. There you go. Paranormal Oz said, me too, Kai, especially when I'm drunk in King's Cross. Paranormal Oz said the old crotch grab helps. Oh, yeah, like, what's his name? Paul Hogan in Crocodile Dundee just walks up to the person and grabs him by the crotch and said, well, I had to check, you know. You never know these days. Shannon said, 51-year-old man-child. Kai said, I'm married, so I already know I'm not getting lucky. Kai said, I'm developing a program stutter from having to repeat absolutely everything I say, so I've almost stopped speaking. Oh, no. Alex said, it's an Abe Lincoln quote from 15/5/2018 on the keyboard. Yep. Paranormal Oz said, thumbs up for Hev. Thanks, guys. I'd appreciate that. And subscribe if you haven't, because that always helps. I don't know if I'll ever get to 400, okay? I'm trying to get to 400. I'm at $3.99. I only need one more sub. Please, help. J1 said the Pope's Crest has Order of Zion and Order of oh, my goodness. Augustine on it? That's enough for me. Augustine? Deb said, I have a senior citizen living with me now. Stormy just had his 60th, so I'm calling him Mr. Senior Citizen. Yep, Alex sent me a screenshot. Paranormal Oz said, get the blue pills out, Deb. Kai said, Catholicism is a mutation of an ancient fish cult. Paranormal Oz said, correct, Alex, at least the symbolism anyway. Paranormal Oz said, and have you noticed the symbol on his regalia of the humanoid shape of the Nazca lines? No. Sorry, I didn't know. I haven't seen that. They don't still put that cloth over them where it has the triangle spiral thing, do they? Alex said they can't hide forever. J1 said, speaking of poop, my coffee's kicking in, lol. You guys, honestly. Yous are getting me. Kai thinks the Gospels were butchered up to support the ridiculous rules called commandments and to control thought with sin. Paranormal Oz said, no, some of us are way too smart. Paranormal Oz said, I used to drink coffee, but vodka makes me feel much better in the morning now. Wow. Paranormal Oz said, make sure I save one out of the bottle each night. Deb said, the senior citizen has taken the glycinate for just over the month, has improved sleep and less stressed. It's helped. Thank you, Dr. Timmy. Kai said, I can't see Timmy at all. He may have had a call or like been busy, you know. Because I didn't check with him yesterday to see if he could come on with me today, so I don't know. But it's okay if he can't. We can leave it till next week. I've got a hair that's tickling my face somewhere. Okay, Deb said, we're all fighters. Paranormal Oz said, same why I can't see Timmy. No, I can't see him either. It's on live chat. No, he could be busy, guys. Paranormal Oz said, wanted his thoughts on my home operation skills. Oh. Deb said, our Timmy might be busy or lurking with a margarita. Kai said, I mean, you reply to things we don't see at all. Alex said, they made it impossible for us to thrive. They want us in our 15-minute cities while they live it up off us, yes? Lucette said, Hev, there you goes down, I'll celebrate. Oh, it's coming, I believe. But the people have to be shown first, you know? Only at the precipice do people have the will to change. Like, I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm ready to get out there and farm my land. That's how willing I am to change. Go and farm. I've got the chickens already. Just need the land. Okay. Paranormal, I said, a leech, I bet the same. It's all rain. It's all the rain. Deb said, yes, Wong is very happy with self. Duper's delight to me. Mm-hmm. Yep, newsflash. Penny Wong's running Australia, not Albanese. If it's not her, don't ask me who it is, because that's who I think it is. Kai said, the entire system is set up to make you fail or keep you exactly where you are. Paranormal, I said, just poured my second triple before work. Oh, my goodness, really? Deb said, yes, we mastered being poor. It's not so hard. Deb said, chlorophyll is a tonic for your stomach. There you go. It's good for healing types of... It's the big C too, apparently. Kai said, it's morbid attitude. It's a morbid attitude, but hopefully the next 5 years go by fast. Now it's jumped again. Alex said, they're all headed down, Lucette. They'll crawl into their mountains, but they can't hide. Deb said, it's what I used before I lost my colon to soothe my body, for I did not know what was wrong. Oh. Lucette said, Alex, I've heard Vanderland is in trouble. I think they are. Alex said, I tried to find stero strips in my medical box, but the coconut oil worked a treat. I highly recommend it, Hev. Deb said, I have used tea tree oil for some nasty infections. Yes, tea tree oil is very good. Stop infection. Alex said she's had the Starmer treatment. Deb J said, oh my goodness, my fridge is on its way out and I just tried my AC unit in my bedroom and it's dead. It's something all the time. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't even have aircon. But in a way I'm glad because I can't afford the electricity bill to support the aircon. So, yeah, I'd rather just on really hot days go and lay in bed like going... Not have any piece of skin touching another piece of skin because it all just sweats. Okay. Deb said, I'm hoping Raven, Lilith, Moon and a baby. Oh, yes, Luna and a babies. Alex said, the 30-60 day is something I'm making up myself. I'm starting with 30 days of eating the healthiest things and exercise. I need to speak to you about it, Timmy. There you go. Alex said, I have a plan together but need some expert advice, Mr. Timmy or Dr. Timmy. Deb said, then you can write a book, Alex. Alex said, I may do if it works. My own experiment. Kingdom, how you going? Good to see ya. Alex said, I've heard that they use spiders to create better type of Kevlar? Kevlar? Okay, wow. J1 said, my dog is Dingo Red Healer. Ooh, nice. Deb said, I've got an idea. All the sick pedos can now replace all the animals. Yes. How about we experiment on them instead? How about the worst murderers, rapists and pedos and things like that? And maybe people who experimented on dogs as well and animals. How about we experiment on them? Wasn't it an eye for an eye in the Bible? So if you're going to experiment on dogs and cats, maybe you should face some paybacks, a bitch. Anyway, it's just a thought. I have these weird thoughts sometimes. Okay. And that was going off Deb's comment. Alex said, hopefully the mother was the dingo, otherwise poor Chihuahua. How would the Chihuahua reach? Okay, I don't even think about that one. J1 said the mother was half-half and the dad was pure red. Oh, okay, cool. Kai said, excellent idea, Deb. Kingdom said, America is terrible with the stuff they put in the food there. Yeah, it is. They're cleaning it up, I believe. RFK Jr. and everyone working with him are cleaning it. They're trying to clean it up. Kingdom said the stuff they allow, yes. Carcinogens, so things that cause cancer. Deb said, I miss my dogs. It's been a long time. We could have a dog because of... You couldn't have a dog because of rentals? Oh. J1 said cops, not Chihuahua. Oh, oops, not Chihuahua. Oh, okay, because I was thinking that's a bit hard. Kai said it's truly awful what they feed people. It is. Deb said, Shannon, well done, you got Hev. Kingdom said politicians are basically the same as rats. They never once in their life took responsibility for anything. That's exactly right, Kingdom. They will never take responsibility. They will never admit they're wrong. It's crazy. So we need to make sure they know they're wrong. J1 said Trump could have used the crotch grab excuse, lol. Alex said that's an insult to the poor rats, Kingdom. Oh, no, not real rats, Alex. Like people who call the police over stupid shit, people, you know. Rats, as people ratting out, you know. Deb said, yes, we're a bit foggy and a bit moist. You got fog and moist, fog and mist down there, Deb. Even that didn't sound right. I can't talk without it coming out funny when you guys put these comments in here, okay? Alex said, I always plan my shops ahead and look things up before I buy them. Luckily for now, there's regulations on food here, but they're slowly trying to poison us all. Deb said, coffee dose does get you going, yes. Deb said, yes, the senior citizen is less bitchy. Deb said, it was a full moon hour. Dr. Timmy would be very busy. Alex said, people need to see what's going on. Lots of them are still too distracted by their TV and games. Yes. It's only at the precipice will people find the will to change. But not only that, the people have to be shown. They can't be told. Because we have tried to tell them for years. And they just think, you're a conspiracy theorist. No. Fine. I'm not going to argue with you. I'll just wait till you find out yourself. Kai said it has to be so horribly awful that no living human would ever allow it again. We've got a ways to go yet, yeah. Alex said all those lunatics running, well, even the financial collapse would be enough to start people going, like, so, what's going on, you know? And what we have to do when that starts is just go, it's going to be okay. Just hang in there. Just hang in there, okay? It's going to be okay. Alex said, yes, you will, Kai. Alex said, we need you here, Kai. Kai said, my friends will notice, but the world will not a whit. Look, same here. If I dropped off tomorrow, I don't think anyone would notice. At least for a few days. That's the problem with being alone too. When you're older, you get to that point and go, okay, if anything happened, I'm here alone. What if my phone's in the other room and I can't move? And what if I bleed out and die? Say it's a bleeding issue, right? What if I bleed out and die and I can't reach my phone and whatever, you know? Although I'd probably try anyway. But, yeah, I don't think anyone would notice either. And you guys might, like, you probably would. But, I mean, you know, people get over things. They move on. So it's not like, you know, I don't know. It's sad, actually. Okay. Okay, where was I up to? Alex said Kevlar is the bulletproof vest. Yes, Kevlar, yep. I was, for some reason, I thought it was Kevlar. What's Kevlar? Deb said, I would watch that experiment on pedos. Yes, I would too. Until it made me sick, and then I'd probably go, nah, can't watch it anymore. Where was I up to? I'm down here somewhere. Okay, Kai said small steel rod in the end of the projectile pushes right through. Alex said there's a spider silk they've started using that's stronger than regular Kevlar. Really? Out to lunch said let them carry their sin. Yep. Kai said that's pretty cool sounding. Deb J said I'm going night. See you all later. Have a good one, Deb J. Paranormal Oz said my favourite dog is half dingo, half chihuahua. Hev was bred on an Aboriginal mission. Wow. Everyone's saying, Deb J, have a good night. Kai said part of the secret told to Judas and the other guy there is no sin. Oh, then everyone would be murdering everyone, Kai. Wouldn't they? I don't know. Alex said, and abusing kids. If there's no sin, no, it can't be right, Kai. No, it can't be right. It's a sin to abuse kids like that and to murder and I don't know. I don't know if I agree, Kai, but I love you anyway. Deb said, good night, sweet, beautiful twin Deb J. Okay, where I'm up to. Kai said, we would notice. We'd look for your casts every day. Kingdom said, when I die, people notice. Thank God, laughed my ass off. Alex said, I would notice Hev and why I have your phone number. Also have Jay's YouTube to make sure you're okay. Yeah. Although I think he's given up on it. I don't know. I don't know what Jay's doing with his YouTube. Alex said, we need to look out for each other. Alex said, I hope he's okay too. He's not posted for a bit. No, he's all right. He's working. It's all right, Alex. He's good. Deb said, don't make me drive over there, Hev. No, I'm just stating like a fact, you know, like it'd take a few days for someone to actually notice because I don't get phone calls from my family every day and sometimes I don't post on YouTube for a couple of days, so no one would notice for a few days. It would happen, I'm telling you. Kai said, when I finally get to West Virginia, I'll get a P.O. box and see how many are sent. How many what are sent? I can't see what it is. Alex said, road trip, Deb. Kai said, consciousness is creation experiencing itself. Paranormal said she was bred to hunt rabbit. Kai said, how can the creator sin against itself? Deb said, you can pay to get your sin white, clean, good old Catholic Church or Roman Empire. Alex said, oh no, he was doing so well, Hev. Glad he has a new job though and I hope he's getting on well. Yes, well, he wasn't making enough money from YouTube, even with the amount of subs and watches he has. YouTube's pretty shit. You don't make that much money from them. You can't make a living unless you've got millions of subs and millions of views. You can't do it. So he went and got a job, yeah. Kai said, morality is a choice just like sin. J1 said, the new US rounds have over 8,000 pounds pressure in the chamber and travel 1 kilometre per second, the size of a pea, and the shockwave turns you to jelly. Oh, my goodness. Deb said, that's all awesome, Paranormal Oz. Alex said, I'm the same. I don't get calls either, but at least my cats would be fed for a while. Yeah, mine too. I wonder, my chickens would be dead first because not getting fed and not being let out. So let's not talk about I'm not worried about that at the moment anyway. Like I do think about it every now and then, but I'm not overly worried. So let's not get me worried about that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. What was that? And the power that be have to approve of your chat. Yes, they have to approve you to get monetized in the first place, which I doubt would happen to me. They've been taking too many videos down. Alex said you should read Revelation 6:16 to finish for all the evil monsters. Okay, give me a sec. Let me have a look. Revelation. Oh. Helps if I have my keyboard next to me. Okay. Ah. Why do they just not give it to me? And said to the mountain and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. There you go. And with that, guys, I'm going to say I'll be on Rumble next time. I have to arrange it with Timmy. yeah, I'll be on. I don't know when I'll be on next. I won't be here tomorrow. Probably not Monday. I have a doctor's appointment. I couldn't get my doctor to see me. And like I rang last Monday. This Monday is the first time he's going to see me, so then I can get the referral to go to the osteopath and get a few bones cracked and stuff. And then Tuesday I have my inspection. So I'll try to do videos maybe, but if I don't, I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. Okay. Have a good one, guys. Bye.